on 38 The Spot.
It's showtime!
Now, on Sports Radio 810 WHB, Walker Medical Linen Services, delivering premium products, seamless service, and guaranteed cost savings to the medical industry. And Coventry Healthcare, your great local health insurance plan, proudly present The Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Buchanan.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is the Border Patrol live on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot. Thank you very much for joining us. It's Wednesday, October 30th, 2013. We appreciate it. We appreciate you watching and listening. This hour of the show brought to you by Gales Harley Davidson. Check out feelthepower.com. Gales Harley Davidson, where every day is an excuse to have fun. Let's talk NFL right now with Andrew Brandt from ESPN and Monday Morning Quarterback. You can follow him on Twitter at ADBrandt is his Twitter handle. Andrew, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yes, another uneventful trade deadline as always.
And it was disappointing for Chiefs fans, or at least for some Chiefs fans here, because I think a lot of us in Kansas City were hoping they would reacquire Tony Gonzalez, but it did not happen. But Andrew, I heard you tell a story about when you were with the Green Bay Packers and about a deal that you almost made. I thought it was very interesting. Gave me some insight into what the conversations are like and the emotions are like trying to make a deal. The Packers almost acquired Randy Moss one time. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, and I'm making the point that sometimes these trade negotiations are much more complicated than people think. And just to spin it forward quickly, we had players like Jared Allen, Tony Gonzalez, Hakeem Nicks, Kenny Britt, all on the trade block yesterday. But if I'm an acquiring team, I'm looking at, well, I only got him for 8 games, and then he's a free agent. So usually there are 2 negotiations going on in those kind of situations, one between the team and another team about trade compensation, and then between the team and the agent about a contract. And that makes these things complicated, especially at the deadline where you don't have time to really get into things very deep. So it wasn't the trade deadline, obviously, but in 2007 draft day, I remember we were very interested in acquiring Randy Moss. He was put up for sale by the Raiders. He had a couple down years with the Raiders. He needed to get back to where he was. And we talked about him, and we were having conversations with Al Davis about the trade compensation, but we also needed to talk contract because Moss had a huge deal, like $12 million, which obviously wasn't going to be feasible. They had a demand for a 1-year deal. They really wanted Randy to come in and play and rehab himself to get a big deal the next year, realize you're going to have to take a huge haircut on the money. And we talked about it, and we're very, deep conversation internally, and we decided we're not going to do that. We're not going to do a 1-year deal and really rent him so he can make himself available for free agency again. And obviously, if we were the only team interested, we would have been able to secure a 2 or 3 or 4 year deal, but the Patriots acquiesced to that number in terms of giving him a 1-year deal, and he went there. And he did exactly what he wanted to do. He had a 1 year where he was a great player and then got a huge deal the next year, which obviously soured on them 2 years later. So it just showed that there were 2 negotiations going on, one between us and Al Davis for the trade compensation and one between myself and the agent where we made the 1-year option a deal breaker, and the Patriots acquiesced to that. So that's what goes on in trade negotiations sometimes. It's much more than talking about draft picks.
It's interesting that the Patriots were the team that ended up swinging that deal, considering the fact that they made a trade right before the deadline last year to get Aqib Talib, and then this year they make the only trade with the Philadelphia Eagles to get a defensive tackle. What do you? Why is it the Patriots? What is it about them? Why is Bill Belichick willing maybe to make these deals when other teams aren't?
It's been their history. They're very active in terms of getting veterans that teams sour on and seeing if they can get something out of them. Listen, as you know, every coach thinks they can get something out of them that other coaches haven't. Every personnel department thinks they can find something that someone else hasn't. So you go through the Patriots' recent history, you see players that were kind of discarded by other teams. An Albert Hainsworth, a Chad Ochocinco, an Aqib Talib, Sean Springs, Lee Bodden. You go through a lot of these players, and now Sopoga from the Eagles, where they couldn't get anything out of him after signing him as a free agent 6 months ago. Belichick thinks he can get something out of him. It was, it was him and a sixth for a fifth. It was really a minor trade, and as you said, the only trade on the totally uneventful trade deadline, which I predicted. And not only did I predicted it, I wrote a little piece for both Sports Illustrated and the MMQB, and thankfully I didn't have to edit a word.
I think something interesting that I've heard you talk about with the NFL. In Major League Baseball and the NBA, they really thrive on the trade deadline and all of the attention it brings and all of the trade rumors and stars moving on to different markets. And you would think, okay, well, maybe the NFL wants to take advantage of that. The big story that would be Jared Allen going to Denver or Tony Gonzalez going to Kansas City, and maybe they could help that along by pushing back the trade deadline. But you say the NFL's not interested in that, are they?
No, a few things that I've talked about before, and I think it's worth repeating why the NFL and trading don't seem to mix. Number one, as I always talk about, it's scheme, 3-4-4-3, vertical, West Coast, press coverage, cover two. Players don't seamlessly fit like a baseball team. You can pitch in Kansas City, you can pitch in Tampa, you can pitch in San Francisco. The other reason is the NFL deadline has been moved back from week 6 to week 8, but not far back enough. Where you see in basketball and baseball, you have towards the end of the season where teams can really affect playoff races. In my conversation with the NFL over the years, they don't want that. They just seem to not want a team to say, pick up a Hakeem Nicks for the playoff run in December, or pick up a Jared Allen. It just hasn't been something that the NFL's wanted. And the same with cash and cap contract concerns, where, this whole idea of taking on cap. I had one proposal in the league when I worked for the Packers that why don't we allow teams to trade cap room? In other words, there's a player the team likes, the team has a ton of cap room, they're not using it, trade it. And, the answer I got was no. Teams make their bed with these cap and contract decisions. We're not going to allow them to bail out based on other teams' well-managed caps. So all these things are just kind of didn't fly with the NFL. They just like it the way it is. And listen, the buzz around baseball and basketball trading deadlines is something that they beat the NFL on, but the NFL doesn't seem to make that a priority.
We're visiting with Andrew Brandt, and to go back to this one trade that did happen, like you said, it's a minor trade, but you mentioned that the Eagles went out and signed Sopoga this offseason, just 6 months ago, and paid him a decent amount of money, and now they're trading him to simply move up one round in the late rounds of next year's draft. That seems like a pretty big admission, isn't it, of a messed up signing? How unusual is that?
Yeah, and let me say I'm a fan of the Eagles and their front office back when Andy was there, and still know all the people there and like them, and full disclosure, have consulted for them. But this has to be, a swing and a miss. They signed Sopoga in March, gave him $2.75 up front. It's not like they get that back. It's gone. So that's spent money, that's sunk cost. $1 million salary, they paid about half of it. The Patriots will assume the other half, and the Patriots assume 2 years of unguaranteed contract money, which means they could pay him $500,000 this year and then move on next year. Yeah, it's an admission of didn't work. That signing didn't work. They got a young player behind them named Vinnie Curry who they like, who they want to get in. It's addition by subtraction. But I will say this, there are a lot of teams out there yesterday trying to move mistakes, whether mistakes from free agency or mistakes from drafting. And no one would take them. No one would take them, knowing that the teams would end up releasing them at some point. So they were not alone. They just, got something, so they can look at each other and say, hey, Sopoga wasn't a good signing, but we got something, even though it's only, a fifth-round pick.
Andrew Brandt is our guest. A.D. Brandt is his Twitter handle if you'd like to follow him. Andrew, something else I wanted to ask you that I thought was somewhat interesting. Beanie Wells, remember him being a first-round pick by the Arizona Cardinals. He tries out for the Baltimore Ravens and tears his Achilles tendon during the tryout. Obviously, he's out for the year, and who knows what happens moving forward with his career. And yesterday, and every Tuesday, different NFL teams have players in for tryouts like that. When a player comes in for a tryout and they get hurt like that, something serious where it ends their season or maybe even their career, are the teams, is there liability for the teams, or do the players sign injury waivers? How is that handled?
Yeah, I can't speak for the Ravens and Beanie Wells, and I actually tried to reach out to what I thought was his agent, but that he had moved on from the agent I thought it was. When players come in for tryouts every Tuesday or off-season, there's a form that I created that most teams have, which is basically you understand this is a tryout, this is not a contract, and you release all liability for injury. And that's about 3 paragraphs summarized into one sentence. So I'm assuming that Beanie Wells signed this, and he has no grievance liability against the Ravens. He has no claim. It becomes an issue, as you noted, since we know the name and we know who he is. There are probably players we've never heard of, and they're not probably, there are definitely players we never heard of who had the same issue. Torn Achilles, torn knee during a tryout. And I have not heard of any suit or legal liability on the part of the team for these players. So again, I am speculating an estimated guess that there is no liability on the part of the Ravens. He can file workers' compensation for an injury that occurred in Maryland, and there is some potential recovery there, but again, just depends on the severity of the injury, what his career potential would look like but for that injury. Again, he hadn't played in a while, and all those things come into play. But is it a cold business? Yes. Is it unfortunate? Yes. But players know this. When you come in for a tryout, you're not signing a contract. You're assuming the risk of the tryout.
Andrew Brand is our guest. I wanted to ask you one other question from your perspective as a former scout, because you mentioned earlier on the on the front when it comes to trades that you're not just negotiating with another team, you're negotiating with maybe that player and his agent as well. Because with the Tony Gonzalez stuff, we speculated a lot, obviously, and he had some quotes yesterday, or I guess they actually came out the night before, but going into the trade deadline that basically words to the effect of, I'm not going to go ask for a trade, but boy, if they came to me wanting to make one, I'd listen. It sounded for all the world to me like a guy who doesn't publicly want to ask for a trade because he doesn't want his, if he doesn't get traded, he doesn't want his teammates to feel like he's trying to abandon ship, so to speak. Does the agent get involved in that? I mean, do you see a situation where Tony Gonzalez's agent is calling the front office of the Falcons and saying, hey, why don't you deal my guy here?
I think that it's a little more subtle. I think the agent and the team have to have conversations about that, especially if things are being floated in the news. And I read those comments by Tony as you did, and I'm like, wow. People know that I translate on Twitter a lot. That would be an obvious translation, like, hey, come get me. I just think the agent and the team have to talk about that, and if the team is going to be totally passive and say, we are only going to consider it if we get the call, not making any active calls, then the agent and Tony have to talk about that. And they have to come back to the team and say, no, we'd like you to pursue it. I figure the agent has to be very involved in that. And I know Tony's a long-time veteran and there can be some direct conversation, but yes, what you insinuated is absolutely the case. The agent has to be a big part of what happens with a player like that at this time of year, especially such an important veteran like him.
Andrew, final question for you. At the Monday Morning Quarterback, the site that you write for, Jermichael Finley gave a first-person account of his experience with his neck injury that I would encourage all football fans to read. And I asked you, of course, you worked for the Packers, but you were also an agent. So you understand both sides of it. when you have a situation like this with a player that has had concussion problems and that had such a difficult experience like this, how do you handle that as an agent? And what type of advice do you give that player?
Well, let me say this. I've dealt with situations like this as a team exec, and my first call was to the agent. And sometimes within minutes after the player leaves the field, I would talk to the trainer, and the trainer would give me something to tell the agent. Because I just think you have to nurture that relationship. And then the agent passes on to the wife, girlfriend, family members. Sometimes you end up doing that as well. I think the tougher situation is this, coming back. I don't necessarily mean Finley. And as you said, I appreciate that. I invite everyone to really check out that article on the MMQB, Jermichael Finley, first-person account of what happened and what's happening now. I just think the agent has to listen to the client, but you have to let them know about long-term effects, because players will not protect themselves. I've seen it my whole career as an agent and as a team. They won't protect themselves. They look at the doctors with puppy dog eyes, and they say, I can play. And it's up to the agent, it's up to the team, it's up to the league, it's up to the union, it's up to the helmet manufacturers. We've got to protect these players, and because they're not going to do it themselves. I think that's a real issue that agents have right now. They've got to be able to protect these players.
Andrew, we'll tweet that out so more people can read it, because, again, it is an excellent read from Jermichael Finley. As always, thank you very much for the time. We'll tell our listeners again to follow you on Twitter, @ADBrant, your Twitter handle. Andrew, we'll talk to you next week.
Always enjoy it, guys. Thanks.
That is Andrew Brandt. Really, really interesting article, because I've wondered that many times when a player's down and receiving medical attention, and then they're strapped to the board. Like, what are they thinking? Mm-hmm. And we always look for that. What do you always look for? The thumbs up.
Yeah.
So the fans can feel like they're, they can get some relief by knowing that the player's okay. Mm-hmm. But it was, I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, but it was so interesting to hear what his thought process was when he was down on the ground and he didn't know what was happening. And so I'll retweet that for you. You can go to my Twitter account @SSJWHB if you'd like to read that article from Jermichael Finley, tight end for the Green Bay Packers. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 30 at the Spot.
You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Next Family Guy, when Joe makes a big bust.
A major drug bust in Quahog today as police seized over 100 kilos.
For Joe Swanson and the biggest drug bust in the history of Quahog.
A new cop is protecting the streets.
Geez, every cop in town is here.
Well, who do you think's taking care of the city? No.
Next Family Guy, viewer discretion advised.
Watch tonight at 6 on 38 The Spot.
Hi, I'm Neil, Neil's Finance Classic. News flash, we have a new warranty. 30 months, 30,000 miles on your car.
And Neil's will finance you on all new inventory.
Call me right now for pre-approval. Let's get her done.
Ugly house, ugly situation? Sell your home to America's #1 home buyer, Homevestors. Foreclosure, divorce, costly repairs? We'll buy your home for a fair price fast. Call 1-800-44-BUYER or visit WeBuyUglyHouses.com.
Sometimes the cure is worse than the disease. That's what a lot of women found out after they had surgery for urinary incontinence or pelvic organ prolapse. See, the mesh used in the surgery was bad. It caused pain, bleeding, continued incontinence, and other serious problems. My law firm, Brown & Crouppen, can help you get the answers and compensation you deserve. Call us anytime for free at 777-7777.
Introducing great value from Assurance Wireless, a lifeline assistance program. With our free talk and text plan, eligible households in your area receive a free cell phone, 250 free voice minutes, plus 250 free texts each month.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
And if you need more, our $30 unlimited talk, text, and web plan offers a free phone plus unlimited minutes, text, and web for just $30 a month. Our plans are the best value among major Lifeline programs. Each plan provides nationwide coverage and these calling features.
With Assurance, I can keep in touch at home or on the go.
You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs. Call now to see if you qualify for the best calling plans ever from Assurance Wireless.
Call 1-800-833-8333 or visit assurancewireless.com. That's 1-800-833-8333. 1-800-833-8333. Call today.
This is the new Nebraska Furniture Mart mobile website. You can shop from over 125,000 products. Locate the nearest store. Check your account balance or pay your bill. Sign up for email savings. View our current ads. And buy the item that fits your style. It's fast, it's easy, and you'll find it here for less.
Storm Shield versus Weather Radio. Both keep you safe, but only one has radar, school closings, and live video stream from Kansas City's weather leader. Plus, there's this. 41 Action Weather Storm Shield for iPhone and Android. Download at kshb.com/mobile.
The day is never long enough, and there's too much to do. House calls, it'll look good. Hey, wait, slow down. Watch Cozy TV. It's the easiest decision you'll make all day.
Ugly house, ugly situation? Sell your home to America's #1 home buyer. Homevestors. Bad tenants, bankruptcy, need to move now? We'll buy your home for a fair price fast. Call 1-800-44-BUYER or visit WeBuyUglyHouses.com.
Hi, I'm Neil, Neil's Finance Plaza. Newsflash, we have a new warranty. 30 months, 30,000 miles on your car.
And Neil's will finance you on all new inventory.
Call me right now for pre-approval. Let's get her done.
Casey takes. Welcome back to the Border Patrol live on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot. Thanks a lot for joining us. We certainly do appreciate it. The World Series back in action tonight. Nate Bukaty, Game 6 of the World Series as the Boston Red Sox look to close out the St. Louis Cardinals. Boston up 3-2 tonight on the mound. Michael Wacha against John Lackey.
The rookie has been fantastic.
Oh, has he?
Cardinals, Michael Wacha.
Can he do it again tonight? Can he do it on the biggest stage?
Sure he can.
With all the pressure.
Why not?
John Lackey is going to the mound for the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox looking to win a world title on their home field for the first time in almost 100 years. Here, John Lackey tells us that they're just happy to be home.
Definitely confident, and we've played pretty good here this season, and it's a place that the atmosphere is going to be great, and the fans are going to be going crazy, but you still got to focus on the task at hand and executing and just still playing baseball.
I don't think I've ever heard John Lackey talk before. I didn't expect him to sound like that.
He sounds husky.
He does, doesn't he?
You made ham sandwich over there. I'm going to tell you, we like playing at Fenway.
This is bean soup.
Bean soup is delicious. You can listen to the game on your radio, home of the World Series in Kansas City, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Any other baseball notes from you?
A couple regarding the World Series. First of all, you mentioned they're trying to win their first home game in the World Series, or win their first World Series at home since 1918. The starting pitcher was in that game?
Frank Bowl.
He was there. He was a young man at that time. Babe Ruth, I believe. Wow. He was the starting pitcher of that game. And the Cardinals got into Boston late yesterday. Late? Because of, how about 7 hours and 9 minutes of delay on the runway because of mechanical problems with their plane.
Michael Wacha said it was fine, though. They had movies, they had food, they had like a party on the plane, so they were fine.
There you go, party on the plane.
Right.
And what do you think an average ticket price would be for tonight's game in Boston? $1,860. That's an average ticket price for a game, for getting to go to that game.
1,000 chickens.
Chickens. All right.
What about Golden Gloves?
Well, the Kansas City Royals have 3 Gold Glovers in the same season for the first time ever. Most in team history. Alex Gordon has won his 3rd straight. Only one of the Royal has ever done that. What's his name?
Chris Getz.
Wrong.
Jeff Francoeur.
Right position, though, in that first Getz, though.
Who?
That Getz guess was wrong.
Frank White.
You're absolutely right. Of course, every Kansas City fan knows that. Eric Hosmer wins his first, and catcher Salvador Perez wins his first. Lorenzo Cain and Alcides Escobar were named finalists for the award, but did not win. I also saw that Baseball America came out with their organizational prospect rankings.
Right.
And, you know, considering the Kansas City Royals traded away Will Myers.
Right.
And pretty much have called up every young player in their system in the last 3 years, all the young guys they have at the Major League level. Surprise you to know that they are still ranked as the 5th best minor league system in baseball right now?
Dayton Moore said in the small way it feels like they're ranked first.
I just figured you'd find some kind of smart aleck.
He said in the small way it feels like they're ranked first.
That's kind of impressive, though, isn't it?
It's real impressive.
Is it?
Absolutely.
I think it is impressive.
I think it is, too. How about that? You know what's impressive? The Kansas City Chiefs, because they're 8-0. However, tight end Kevin Brock was released by the Chiefs yesterday. He was made expendable with the return of Anthony Fasano. The Chiefs have Fasano and Sean McGrath, the bearded one, at tight end. Remember, Brock went to camp with the Chiefs, then was released right before the season. And then 2 games in, when Fasano was hurt and Travis Kelce was hurt, they brought him back. He played in 4 games as a backup, caught 3 passes. But I think that's a good sign that Fasano, they feel confident that he's healthy. So
absolutely.
I don't like it for Kevin Brock, but I like it for Anthony Fasano. We'll see what they do to fill that spot. Maybe the return or the debut of Sanders Cummings, the defensive back from Georgia, taken in the 5th round, who likes the Chiefs' chances to win the Super Bowl.
Doesn't see any reason they won't.
Also in the NFL, Sidney Rice, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, will miss the remainder of the season with a torn ACL. Jared Allen was not traded, so he says he's proud to still be a member of the Minnesota Vikings. And yes or no, Jerry Jones, do you agree with this or not? Jerry Jones says Deion Sanders would have shut down Megatron. Calvin Johnson. Yes or no?
Shut down?
That's what he said.
No.
Jake.
He would have limited him.
Deion Sanders.
No way. I mean, still, he probably would have had 150 and maybe a touchdown.
Wow.
He has a lot of size over. Deion is small, fast and small. Megatron's too physical for Deion.
All right. Fine.
Tall as Deion. I'm looking this up now.
I mean, couldn't be taller than 6'1", right?
Prime
6 foot maybe.
6'1", 195. It's good size for a corner. I don't think you'd shut him down.
Deion's pretty damn good.
Deion was amazing.
Oh, he's awesome. One of the best. But
I think he was the best cover corner ever. Now he didn't ever tackle anyone, but he was the best cover corner ever, I think.
Better than Jaleel Brown?
No, good point. I have to reevaluate that. By the way, NFL.com just put out their power rankings. The Broncos have leapfrogged the Chiefs from #1 in their power rankings.
Good. Glad those don't mean anything. How about the standings?
It's all over.
Standings, the Chiefs are in first place. I also would like to mention to you, good people, that tonight the Chiefs Players Show is at Dirty Harry's in Blue Springs, South 7 Highway and Moreland School Road in Blue Springs. The specials are $5.95 cheeseburger and fries all day long, and my special guest will be starting inside linebacker for the best defense in the NFL, Akeem Jordan. So myself and Akeem Jordan from the Kansas City Chiefs tonight at Dirty Harry's in Blue Springs. Nate Bukaty, there was a basketball game last night that had you salivating from the beginning tip. From the opening tip, you were ready to roll. You were...
I didn't like the way that sounded.
Why? Jake?
Just the tip.
How excited were you last night?
Oh, I was very excited, but, you know, I temper my... I temper my expectations.
Nate Bukaty, tell me about it.
Well, Kansas beat Pittsburgh State 97-57. The leading scorer in the game, actually, was Devon Branch of Pittsburgh State, the Oregon transfer who went for 27 in the game. The Jayhawks were led in scoring by Perry Ellis and Andrew Wiggins, who each scored 16 points. Of course, everybody wanted to see the much-anticipated debut of Andrew Wiggins. Bill Self says Wiggins was a little tight to start the game.
Well, he told me after the game, Coach, I was so nervous. And you know, he didn't play very well early. He did better late. But certainly, you know, I don't think his aggressiveness was what it should be. In a lot of ways, but I did think he did some good things. I don't care about making or missing shots. I thought he made some right plays and things. But the thing about it is when their offense gets us on our heels because we're in foul trouble and that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden you're not aggressive, so you don't run through any passes, you don't play to your athletic ability and things like that. And I didn't think we did a very good job of that at all tonight.
Now, while Wiggins' mania is sweeping not just the country but the continent, you know, TSN, which is like the ESPN of Canada, announced they're going to carry every KU basketball game nationwide in Canada this year.
So if you're in Canada, you can watch it, but you were in certain parts of Kansas, you could not.
Yes, that is correct.
How did your mom feel about that?
She was very angry.
You know what she should do?
What?
She should send someone a letter. Write a letter.
She sent me an email last night asking who she could write a letter to.
What did you tell her?
I said, I'll field all complaints. Mom.
No.
I got a name for her.
Yeah. What? Give me a name. I want Nate's mom to write a letter. It's a good way to get your frustrations out in a positive, productive way. Let her write a letter.
I think a lot of people are writing letters right now, okay?
I want your mom to write one.
Why do you want her to write one?
She can write one.
Okay, I'll tell her write one to Steven St.
I'll write her back.
The people at KU and the IMG Network taking the situation very seriously, and they're working on it. They want everybody in Kansas to be able to watch these games.
But
these
what
games
if
are available to more KU fans than any KU games have ever been?
Do you think it would help?
And they're still working on it.
They got a letter from your mom.
No, I don't think that would help.
I disagree.
I'm sure you do.
I'm on her side.
Well, I appreciate that. Also, by the way, Nadir Tharp's going to be suspended for the first regular season game of the year because he played in a Pro-Am game that he was not supposed to play in.
Oh, Nadir.
Yeah, Bill Self says the penalty for playing in a game he knew he shouldn't have been playing in. Didn't use good judgment. So it's a one-for-one deal, and that's the situation.
Eye for an eye, game for a game.
Now, also, everybody wants to know about the red shirts. They're going to redshirt anybody on this team. Here, Bill Self talks about that, especially maybe guys like Brendan Green and Connor Frankamp.
You know, Brandon Green, he can jump up and make a shot. Brandon Green's talented. You know, if he just bend his knees, he can probably move a little quicker. But I think he's a good player. I think Brandon Green's a good player, and he's physically, you know, looks the part and can play the role. You know, he's just time away. But I mean, I thought everybody did fine. You know, Connor's not making any shots because he's thinking too much. But we'll make some decisions, you know, in the next week or so. And just because we make decisions doesn't mean that that's the direction we'll end up going, because maybe families don't want to do it, or a kid doesn't want to do it, or maybe we don't want to do something. But certainly, you know, we're not going to be able to distribute the minutes evenly from, you know, basically from this point forward. We need to try to get better so we're prepared to play the season.
Green and Frankamp both played 11 minutes. Green went for 10 points in those 11 minutes, going 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. Connor Frankamp went scoreless, going 0 for 3. To me, Connor Frankamp looks like the most logical candidate.
I think you should wear a red shirt on Fridays, Red Friday.
I do.
We will have Jadion Thompson in studio with us after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot.
Who needs coffee when you have the Border Patrol?
Oh boy! Wee!
The Border Patrol will be right back on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Are you ready? It's time for today's Jocelyn's Trivia Blitz on 38 The Spot.
Which Kansas City Chief holds the record for the most career rushing yards?
Jocelyn's Jewelry, the jewelry you'll recommend to your friends and family. 435 in Antioch. Go north 1 mile. You can't miss us. 95th in Antioch.
Think you figured it out? I'll be right back with the answer.
The National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Caldwell County, southeastern Davies County, southern Grundy County, northern Livingston County until 8:15 a.m. At 7:28 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 6 miles southeast of Gallatin and moving east at 40 miles per hour. Expected hazards include quarter-size hail and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding and trees. Locations impacted include Chillicothe, Jamesport, Breckenridge, Utica, Wheeling, Lock Springs, Mooresville, Spring Hill, Chula, and Laredo. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 8:15 a.m. for the following counties in Missouri: Caldwell, Davies, Grundy, and Livingston.
Visit AssuranceWireless.com or call 1-800-833-8333.
Free is good, and free is back by popular demand. Because right now, Time Warner Cable will give you free DVR service for 6 months with the triple play, starting at $79.99 per month. For this free DVR offer, call 1-855-WANT-TWC. But this free DVR offer ends soon. Get free DVR service for 6 months with the triple play starting at $79.99 per month. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC today. Remember, offer ends soon. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Get out there. Now, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City Health Insurance is available for everyone. Call 800-270-5872 or go to bluekc.com on your mobile. Getting coverage may be more affordable than you think. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Live fearless.
National American University presents One. Be a full-time student 1 day a week, only 1 day or 1 night, even Saturday.
1 day, 1 night, Saturday's all right. Online's just fine. Nighttime, anytime. Get your degree. Set yourself free. National American University.
Be a full-time student 1 day a week at National American University.
Call 866-628-1288.
Your time's up. Here's the answer to today's Jocelyn's Trivia Blitz.
Which Kansas City Chief holds the record for the most career rushing yards? It was Priest Holmes with 6,070 yards.
Jocelyn Jewelry, the jewelry you'll recommend to your friends and family. 435 in Antioch. Go north 1 mile. You can't miss us. 95th in Antioch.
Catch another Jocelyn's Trivia Blitz every weekday morning on 38 The Spot.
Good morning, Kansas City. I'm Aaron Sports with your bottom of the hour update. Kansas fans got their first peek at Andrew Wiggins last night as KU beats Pitt State in an exhibition play 97-57. Wiggins and Perry Ellis both lead the way with 16 points. Tyrod Black with 11 rebounds. The Jayhawks are in action next Tuesday against Fort Hays State. It was announced yesterday that 3 Royals were Gold Glove winners: Alex Gordon, Eric Hosmer, and Salvador Perez, the recipients. First time in franchise history that more than 2 players received that award. The Chiefs Players Show tonight at Dirty Harry's in Blue Springs. Linebacker Akeem Jordan joins Stephen St. John at 6 o'clock. Game 6 of the World Series to follow at 7. Man, the studio just got a lot nicer in here. Jadion Thompson's coming up next. I didn't say long-winded. I said better looking. Jadion Thompson from 41X News is left. I'm Aaron Swartz. This is the Sports Center.
This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stephen St. John and Nate Bukaty in studio. Thanks for joining us. It's Wednesday, it's Hump Day, October 30th, 2013. You're watching 38 The Spot. You're listening to WHB. We have Jadion Thompson joining us now. Hello, Jadion. How are you
Morning.
doing?
I take the credit for that song. I hadn't heard it, Nate.
I told her when she
said
walked
I
in,
inspired.
she was wearing a short skirt and a long jacket.
Where did she buy the jacket? You know everything else. You knew about the steering wheel cover.
I don't want to give away her shopping habits over the air, but trust me, I know where she got the jacket.
I'll take that as a huge compliment. Thank you, Nate. That's very sweet of you.
Mm-hmm.
How are you boys today? I missed you.
We're doing good. We're doing all right.
How's your hump day?
It's going good so far.
I'm just
Halfway
busy
there.
checking
Mine's just getting started, but you guys have been
checking
on for a
Aaron
while.
Schwartz's Sports Center updates for factual inaccuracies.
I mean, what? Aaron, feel free. Go to the producer cam if you have a reply.
I'm not going to tell you what he's doing in there right
I just saw a
now.
reply.
I had a reply. That was my reply to him.
Oh, him taking a shot at you being long-winded?
Hey, this is my segment.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
Sorry.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you notice anything different about me today?
Your hair.
Well, nice observation, yes, but other than that, I did cut bangs. Other than that.
You're not wearing makeup today.
Booyah.
2 for 2. 2 for 2 right here.
He's good, Steven. What you got?
Mm-hmm.
So I decided that sleep was more important than getting up and putting on my makeup, and I also decided that that camera is far enough away where no one would really notice except for you guys. So what do you think?
An HD camera.
I like women without makeup
There you go.
better than with makeup.
You don't need it. Naturally beautiful. You don't need makeup.
You're too sweet. I'll pay you later.
Like myself, I don't need makeup.
I think
Then
more
why do you
women
wear it?
should be okay with not wearing makeup.
Sure they should.
You know,
Of
when
course.
you're on TV, you kind of have to because the lights are so bright. You don't
Right.
even look like yourself if you were not to. But otherwise, I'm all right with it. I wanted to get your assessment. Steven's being kind of quiet.
No, it's fine. I see. I didn't notice. That's a plus.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Nate didn't notice.
Right. Nate has been eyeballing you from the moment you walked in. Has noticed every single thing about you. So.
Short skirt, long jacket.
What, you got a jacket? There's no makeup. Now,
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Let me ask you a question, though. Do you notice anything different about me?
No.
I noticed that your heart rate has gone up quite a bit since.
What's going on?
He
has
acts
a
like
nice kicks on.
he acts like a totally different person when you're in here.
Oh, that's not
He
true.
talks more. He's very excitable. It's like the kids showing off at recess.
Hey, did
It really is.
Hey, check out the tetherball.
Is he gonna pull my hair?
Well.
Oh yeah, I love it when I get you guys speechless.
Are you gonna dress up as in a Halloween costume? I saw that you did.
I already did.
But are you
because
on Halloween?
I went to Gary Lezak's Halloween party, which is the only Halloween party to be at. I guess
Right.
you guys' invitation got lost in the mail.
No, we had an invitation. I was in Columbia, Missouri, getting my heart crushed by football. And so that
Fair
is
enough.
what I did. Will you dress up on Halloween though?
Will I dress up on Halloween? I don't have a lot of plans right now. You boys want to take me trick or treating?
Sure. Up north.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's if you want to go walk around the neighborhood with 4 kids and.
We've already established I think your kids are adorable, so I would hang
Yeah.
out with them. They are pretty cool. So here's the deal. Know what I did dress up as at Gary Lezak's
Yes, a
Halloween party?
hashtag.
No, there was another half.
Right.
How did you know that much? You
Because
say
of the
Nate's the
pictures.
stalker.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Sir.
Oh yeah.
Who
Do we have a nap sound for a whip?
What did I do?
Give me
I
the
gotta talk first.
Cue the
I gotta
whip.
talk loud.
Cue the whip.
Calm down.
Wait for it.
It's all right. This is it.
Go for it.
Painted inaccurately.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's my nap
Yeah.
sound.
Go ahead.
So I was the hashtag, and my partner, who was one of our newer reporters, she was the words Halloween costume. So we were hashtag Halloween costume. I thought it was great and extremely clever, but I think it kind of flopped.
Gary Lezak was Caesar. I thought he looked really good.
He makes a really good Caesar, and it was a bit like Caesar's
Very
palace.
buff Caesar.
So you tell me if this is appropriate or inappropriate, because this comes from Fargo, North Dakota, and this is the story I was going to read you. There's a mother in Fargo, North Dakota, that has decided that she's not going to give out candy to every child.
Oh boy, where's this going?
Okay, and so what she's going to do, if she decides that a child is overweight that comes to her door, she is going to hand a letter to the child. The letter will say, "Happy Halloween and happy holidays, neighbor. You are probably wondering why your child has this note. Have you ever heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child?
Oh my God.
I am disappointed in the village of Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo. Your child is, in my opinion, moderately obese, and should not be consuming sugar and treats to the extent of some children this Halloween season. My hope is that you will step up as a parent and ration candy this Halloween and not allow your child to continue these unhealthy eating habits.
Can you see the shock and awe on my face right now?
Is that wrong?
Nate, I'm not a parent. What do you think? You're dad.
I think, it's audacious.
I mean, I think that there is a problem with childhood obesity, but that's the parent's fault. You don't take candy from a baby literally on Halloween night for it. So she could go out and champion that cause in a much more tactful way.
Jake, if a young Jake Gutierrez went door to door and was handed a note, what would your parents have done?
What are you trying to imply?
No, because it would affect me or Jake more. In a shocking turn of events, all my kids are rail thin, so they wouldn't get this.
Jake, are you offended right now?
No, both of us know we are
offended on this show.
Yeah. Our eating habits as children are well documented. So, would that have gone over well with your mom and dad?
I mean, if I would handed it, I probably would have smashed the bag of candy from the lady and took off on me.
That's a step too far, I think. I mean,
First of all, she wouldn't be handing out much candy in this day and age because the majority of kids are overweight in this country.
Thanks, Steven.
Like I said, thankfully I don't have that problem because I wish I had my kids' ability to burn calories and burn food because I eat, a lot of leftovers around the house. A lot of leftover Happy Meals.
I've got something I want to ask you guys after the break.
Okay, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined again by Jadion Thompson in studio. You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot.
The Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Buchanan on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Arthur's a ping pong wizard. I learned ping pong on the streets. You either got good or you die.
How can you be beat by anybody who eats soup like this?
And Doug's his protege.
Maybe you know what you're talking about. You bet your bippy I do.
Next, King of Queens.
What are you doing? I'm making myself one with you.
Can you make yourself one without gyrating?
Watch today at 5 on 38 The Spot for comedy.
On the border, endless enchiladas. 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 Enchiladas.
Endless enchiladas, just $8.99. Beef, chicken, or cheese with rice, beans, and endless chips and salsa at On the Border. You know you want it. Enchiladas.
Do you have an idea for an invention or a new product? InventHelp can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. InventHelp is America's largest invention company with sales offices in over 50 cities nationwide. Call today for free information.
I am a Healthful Smile in Seafood.
We have more fresh fish flown in daily from the dock to my case in 2 days.
Hy-Vee's one of the only retailers in the nation with their own USDC seafood inspector.
We've got amazing seafood from all around the world. King crab flown in from the Bering Sea.
We catch fish and shrimp right out of Louisiana. Oh yeah, this is fresh. Look at it. I am a Healthful. Sustainable. USDC inspected.
2 days flown in, fresh smile.
And that's my promise.
Together, we make the first night of football every week, which means we make the first.
Go, Red, go!
And the first. The first. And of course, the first.
Touchdown!
Together, we make the first night of football every week. Together, we make football.
We remember those who have fallen.
And honor all who have served.
41 Action News and 38 The Spot present The Hero Show at Kansas City Power and Light.
It's a free Veterans Day celebration with live music all day.
Featuring national recording artist Clay Walker.
There will be military displays, family activities, and more.
Don't miss The Hero Show, Saturday, November 9th, noon to 7 at the Kansas City Power and Light District.
Eligible for Medicare, that's a good thing, but it doesn't cover everything.
only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. So consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, they could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call today to request a free decision guide. With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. Join the millions who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP and provided by United Healthcare Insurance Company, which has over 30 years of experience behind it. With all the good years ahead, look for the experience and commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
Zombies attack Springfield.
To the panic room!
We don't have a panic room!
To the panic room store!
Who will survive?
It was so noble of Apu to give his life for us.
You're supposed to write for me. The Simpsons.
Watch tonight at 6:30 on 38th The Spot.
They say that life is a highway. Are you ready to roll? There's no turning back that way. Once you step out on that road, life in the fast lane.
I put my pedal to the metal, then I roll out.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38th The Spot. Stephen St. John and Nate Ducati. Jolyon Thompson in the studio with us. Do we have Gary Lezak? This is actually Gary Lezak performing the song. Is that right? Or is that
No, that's
an incorrect
not.
intro? Hello, Gary. How are you?
That's me, Johnny. We recorded it last week.
Hi, Gary.
Good morning. It was amazing. I wake up and I see, I'm looking for Nate Bucati sitting here on 30th The Spot, but Nate Bucati suddenly got much better looking, and there's
Aw, thank you. Gary's always so supportive. How are you this morning?
very good. I cannot believe you're up so early. Hey, guys, she is not a morning.
He knows. I am not.
Gary, are you a morning person?
Yes.
Of course. I get up early.
What time?
Dogs.
Every morning about 6:30, 6:45, take the dogs outside for a walk, get my protein shake or breakfast together, and get my workout in, and I'm always on the go. Always on the go.
I am fast asleep by then. Gary, it's so cool outside right now because it's like raining. You think it should be cold, but it's warm and balmy.
Wow, is that your intro to weather?
That was my toss. How'd you like that?
Yeah, how come, guys, am I supposed to do the weather right now with Johnny on there?
Do whatever you want.
Okay, there you go. How about Buffalo? Let's start with Buffalo.
Yes.
How are the Chiefs going to do against the Bills this weekend? Are they going to keep their undefeated streak alive?
Yes. 9-0.
Yeah.
9-0.
I think so.
48 degrees in Buffalo. How about that?
We're sending our very own D. Jackson up there, too. Did you know that, Gary?
I didn't know D was going up there.
Yeah, all by himself, though. He's the MMJ, so.
Oh, my goodness. He's our new sports guy, D. Jackson, and he's going to Buffalo. He probably has never been to Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Have you ever been to Buffalo? Have you guys been to Buffalo?
No, I'd like to go to a game and eat wings. I don't know if I'd like the rest of the city, though.
I have a lot of family in Buffalo.
There you go. So, but it's going to be pretty nice. Great football weather in Buffalo for the Chiefs to go 9-0. So that is exciting. Now, weather-wise for us, guys, let me get to that. I'll get back to you real quick. We do have the setup for a few strong thunderstorms. Very heavy rain is possible in the next 4 hours. So between now and noon, I'm expecting, and Johnny, I'm looking at this, I'm forecasting a 90% chance of thunderstorms before noon. So test me on this one, okay?
I mean, I'm looking outside right now, Gary, and you always say that's the first rule of weather forecasting, and it looks pretty dark.
Yeah, always look outside because you never know. But when you look outside, you think it's in the 40s, but it's 66 degrees right now. Today's high 70. Thunderstorms are expected, some possibly marginally severe. There could be a few hailstones up to quarter size, but that would really be the only major impact from these. But otherwise, very heavy rain in the next 4 hours, and then another round of thunderstorms tonight for the trick-or-treating and the kids tomorrow night. It should be very, very good by about 6 o'clock, but tomorrow morning it is going to rain. So it's going to look stormy tomorrow, but by 6 o'clock, it will be a treat, as it looks like it'll be around 50 degrees for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow night. Happy Halloween, everyone. It's a little spooky this morning. Right now it is 66 degrees. Johnny Hunt Thompson with the Border Patrol. And here is Ryan Weeby.
Thank you, Gary. If you're thinking about buying a new home while rates are still low, give my team a call at 816-778-7000 or go to firstmortgagekc.com and fill out a full online application.
Thank you to Gary Lezak for the forecast. We'll take a break. Well, you know what? He's the best. I only hope that he's dressed as Caesar while doing that forecast this morning. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will sign off from 38 The Spot, and the show will continue on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
On the next How I Met Your Mother, it's a road trip for Marshall's bachelor party.
This car is a DVD player? You mean we could have been watching these pornos the whole time? Yeah. This one's in HD. This one's in H-double-D.
And they aren't holding anything back.
Is this a strip show or a Kiss concert?
On the next...
Disgusting. Horrifying.
Classic How I Met Your Mother.
Watch tonight at 10 on 38 The Spot.
This is it, people. I launched Revolt on Time Warner Cable because they're the only ones who can bring my world to your world. Anywhere, anytime, any screen. Revolt on Time Warner Cable? Cray. You never seen nothing like it. Piano's on fire. Hey, Diddy. What's up, Carol? Just in the middle of my presentation. Carol, this is gonna be big, baby. Join the Revolt with Time Warner Cable. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Introducing great value from Assurance Wireless, a lifeline assistance program. With our free talk and text plan, eligible households in your area receive a free cell phone, 250 free voice minutes, plus 250 free texts each month.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
And if you need more, our $30 unlimited talk, text, and web plan offers a free phone plus unlimited minutes, text, and web for just $30 a month. Our plans are the best value among major Lifeline programs. Each plan provides nationwide coverage and these calling features.
With Assurance, I can keep in touch at home or on the go.
You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs. Call now to see if you qualify for the best calling plans ever from Assurance Wireless.
Call 1-800-833-8333 or visit AssuranceWireless.com. That's 1-800-833-8333. 1-800-833-8333. Call today.
When you hire a law firm for your injuries, hire a firm with a reputation for trying cases. You have only one day in court. Make it count. Peterson & Associates, protecting you.
I remember walking to department stores with my mom, and she'd look at all this beautiful furniture. She'd ooh and she'd on, and she'd look at the price tag, and she'd go, do they think we have no style because we have no money? When I decided to partner with Nebraska Furniture Mart, that was the first thing we talked about. That we want to be able to provide their customer and the people that I know with the best things possible for their home without spending a lot of money.
See the Angelo Home Collection at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
I know you can pick NFL winners, Byron, you and I.
They certainly can. You can win a trip to Hawaii or weekly prizes from the Martin City Brewing Company.
Join the competition on 41 Action News Sports Sunday. Play the Martin City Brewing Company You Pick'em game at kshb.com/contests.
Don't follow, pursue. Truman State University in Kirksville, Missouri.
Call Brown and Crouppen right now at 777-7777.
Right this minute.